What's up everyone, OpSoldiered here today, and here is my first video back, DNF Duel. So today, I'm going to just discuss all of my experiences playing DNF Duel, at least when it comes to intermediate play. I've been playing on console, unfortunately. This is a PC mod, obviously, as you can see I have Bikini Striker, and you can only get that on PC, but I just went ahead and recorded on my PC, and consoles where I've been playing, and I kind of just wanted to cover like quite a few things that I've noticed in DNF Duel that people keep making these plays like questionable plays while also doing some really good things too. But I'm mostly going to cover the questionable plays today. And that's just simply because I think that this game has definitely taught people bad fundamentals, and I don't know if it's because this is their first fighting game and things like we've got like the one button DP, like literally all you have to do is input down. Oops, sorry. So used to PS4. But yeah, you just input down and you get a DP, right? You know, and I can even show you Berserkers, see down, he gets a DP. I think like concepts like one button DP, the fact that combos are easier to do, guard cancel costs a lot, has really conditioned players to play, for a lack of a better term, like trash. Like literally play, like make horrible decisions on defense, horrible decisions in the neutral. In case you don't know what the neutral is just where we're standing right now. So like, you know, round one start, this is neutral, right? And it's the reason why I find it kind of questionable is because like a lot of the characters in this game have long reaching normals. Like if you look at Berserker, look at this, 5B goes pretty much almost half screen. So there's no reason to why Berserker should be DPing anywhere in the neutral. And we'll talk about that. But basically, I just wanted to cover things that I feel like players are doing in this game. And I don't know if it's because it's an anime game or if it's just like these are new players that are just getting into fighting games. But these are definitely things you should not be doing, and they will definitely limit you as a player. I highly recommend you watch this guy, his name's Sonic Soul. I watch him all the time. He'll talk to you about these same things that I'm going to mention, but in a little more of an advanced level. So let's go ahead and get started, and definitely enjoy DNF Duel. DNF Duel is probably one of my favorite fighting games in the last few years. I actually like this game more than I like MK11 just because of some of the play styles of the characters. So anyway, let's go ahead and start, and yeah. So, first thing I want to talk about is when you should choose to DP. So I kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the video. I think it's extremely important to understand when you can do a Dragon Punch or a Dragon Punch input. You don't have to do, again, as I said at the beginning, you don't have to do the actual input. I'm trying to do the input, actually, I can't do it. There we go. So you don't have to do the actual input. You can just input down if you're on defense, because your meter won't come back immediately. Like, say it comes back way faster when you do the DP input, but at least you'll be able to get a consistent DP. So first thing you want to start doing is you want to make sure you just actually input the down button, and when you're doing a combo, you want to actually input the DP. Let me try that again. Like, you want to input the actual DP. You want to get the good when you're doing a combo. But when you're not doing a combo, it's okay to just input down. So that's the first thing you need to know. Now we're going to talk about the times that you should not do a DP. You should not do a DP when you're in neutral. So if I'm standing here as striker and Berserker is doing literally nothing, he's just walking back for, like I can't even record him. Like, he's walking back and forth, right? Which you won't see very often against Berserker, but let's just pretend, right? And I just do a random DP. I know people are afraid in this game. They're not used to moves going full screen like Berserker's, 5B. But don't do a random DP in neutral. It is a bad, bad habit, and it will get you punished against better players. So for example, if I'm Berserker here, and I just do a DP because I think Striker's going to pressure me, this is what's gonna happen. Oops. Like, see, I just do a DP. Oops. Let me try that again. Sorry, I'm so used to PS4. Striker's gonna punish me for a full combo, right? She's literally gonna punish me for like almost 40%. So doing a random DP in neutral is just literally giving your opponent damage. I don't know why players are still doing this. Even at my level, I'm at gold right now, I'm not that high. Just because like there's still matchups I don't understand. And it usually takes me a little bit, but you know, even at my level at gold, people are just doing DP in neutral. Like, you know, even Striker can't do this, right? Because she can't rebeat, like she can't cancel her DP unless she hits someone on block or on hit. So DPing on neutral, bad thing. Like, just play neutral. Like, there's plenty of characters that have good normals that they can just throw out and are hard to punish. You know, like, you know that, like, you can kind of just throw that out and I have to deal with it. I've got to do like a dive kick or something like that. But DPing because you think I'm going to run at you, bad idea. Bad idea. Even if I run, it's better to throw like a normal or something. Like, you know, like throw out a normal to kind of check my movement. You know, that's a better option than just DPing. So that's the first thing I recommend. So the second thing we're going to talk about is don't DP all the time on plus frames. So Striker here is plus. You know, let's say I'm Striker and I do 1-inch punch. And 1-inch punch is plus, right? Not even show you. I'll have Berserker mash. Okay. Oops. Okay, if I can do it. This is gonna be plus. Let's try that again. You should not win that. Ever. Let's try it again. There we go. And as you can see, like, Striker's gonna win that, right? So Berserker actually has another option here, and his option can be to DP, which you're gonna see a lot at the levels that you're at, right? So if I do something like this, the Berserker player is gonna DP. Now, if you look at the right corner, the top right, Berserker still has plenty of guard meter to work with. There's really no reason to DP here. You have basically you have nothing, you have everything to lose here, right? You know, if I do this, oops, if I do 1-inch punch, oops, sorry, that has a gap. So if I do 1-inch punch and I just block, if I could, sorry, let's try that again. I do 1-inch punch, I block. Oops, I forgot that has like mad active frames. So I just hit him for 391, almost 400 damage because he didn't want to hold plus frames, right? I understand that there is guard meter in this game, and there are going to be certain situations where the Berserker player is going to want to DP, right? In certain dire situations. But if the game has just started, the last thing you want to be doing is DPing out of plus frames because you feel like your opponent is going to pressure you. You want to first figure out how your opponent is going to play. Are they going to constantly pressure you? What are they going to do? Like, it's always best to block instead of DPing out of plus frames. You want to see what your opponent is going to do first, and even if you get in a situation where you might get guard broken, you'll have the opportunity to guard cancel, so at least you don't die from getting hit by, from blocking a DP, right? Because the thing is, this is a huge mistake that a lot of players make that they don't even realize. When you DP out of plus frames, you're saying that you're willing to take the high risk option, right? Because the thing about guard cancel is guard cancel functions the same way that a DP would on block. The only difference is guard cancel has to be baited Unlike a DP, where a DP is much easier to bait, just simply because all the player really has to do is block. Like they don't have to figure out where you're going to guard, where you're going to DP in the pressure, right? Because there's only one place you can DP in the pressure, and it's off of 1-inch punch. So you're pretty much like, the player can pretty much narrow when you're going to DP. But with a guard cancel, there's so many different points where you can guard cancel that it's not as simple as, you know, I can bait the guard cancel, right? Like I could do a dive kick right there, right? And with this dive kick, you know, the dive kick, it rebeats. So like he actually can't, or he could guard cancel right out of the dive kick, like immediately out of the dive kick, which means I have to do dive kick block, right? But with a DP, he can only DP at certain points. He can only DP when I'm plus, not when I'm jailing him. Not when I have a true block string. He can't DP out of those. So it's much easier to bait DP, and that's why you shouldn't DP out of plus frames very often. You should do it, but it shouldn't be your number one solution. Being able to, you know, just choosing to block in this game, even when your guard meter is going down, is much more rewarding than like trying to DP out of every situation, because taking damage is the worst option. It's always the worst option. Getting guard broken is even worse, but taking the damage when you have, you know, half your guard meter or something like that is always worse. You definitely want to, you know, take the damage if you don't have an option at all, but if you do have an option, not taking the damage is much better when you have half your guard meter. So anyway, okay, so that's the other thing about DPing out of plus frames. And then finally, I think those are like the only times that you really shouldn't DP. You shouldn't DP in the neutral. DPing in the neutral is a bad idea, you know, just to kind of recap everything. And you shouldn't DP out of plus frames. That is also definitely a bad idea. I see those ones the most often, and it's usually because they think that you can't punish their DP. But as a striker player, I'm going to tell you right now, almost a majority of the cast can punish with DPs. Even Lost Warrior can punish it with his orb. So that's not a viable strat, and stop doing it. Like, as simple as that. Stop doing that. You'll become a much better player when you DP when you're supposed to, and not just do it as a get out of jail free card. Use it when you know that it's going to work, and don't use it as a crutch, and actually study your opponent's block strings and understand when you can guard cancel and when you can get out of their pressure. Now on to when you should use DP, because I feel like that's also important to understand. You should most definitely use DP when people are jumping at you. So like, you know, if Berserker here, let me see, record him. Does he have a bigger, there we go, okay. Probably has, yeah, I figured. See, he's really strong. So let's say Berserker does jump S, right? Or jump MS. Well, you definitely want to DP here because DP is an anti-air, right? Oops, sorry. So using a DP to anti-air someone is super, super beneficial. You need to time it right, depending on the character. It's definitely very useful, and it'll allow you to, you know, can start your offense pretty much. Being one button makes it even better. So DPing on an anti-air, super good, you know, super important thing and super useful. Another one is delay DP. So let's say Berserker, or let's say Striker is pressuring me here. Let me go ahead and turn off all this. Okay. So let's say Striker's pressuring me here, right? Oops. What am I doing? Right? Let's say Striker's pressuring me, and then she runs up and she baits, she runs up to bait a DP, and she's just sitting there blocking, right? And then you feel like she's going to strike a button. This is a good time to DP for two reasons, delay DP for two reasons. One reason is Striker or any other character can do like a jump into a special move, or a jump into, like, you know, an instant overhead or something like that. And being able to delay DP will prevent them from doing that. It will knock them off of you, and it'll give you your pressure back. The other reason why it's important is you're actually anticipating your opponent is going to do something, and you're DPing a little bit later than you normally would to bait out a button, right? So the reason why delay DP is actually more skillful than just DPing is because if you just DP, you're literally afraid of the pressure that's coming. But if you delay DP, you're anticipating that they're going to do something to start their pressure again. See the difference between the two? One is you're doing it because you're scared. You don't know what's going to happen, and you feel like that's your only way out to start your own offense. Because this is a very common thing in this game. People treat this game like an anime fighter, so like they just want to run their offense and run their flowchart. I've noticed that a lot in my levels, and that's why they lose. Because I just bait out stuff and kill them for it, right? And delay DP prevents that. Delay DP is basically stopping me from just going ham every single time I do something. So like if I do something like this and then I run up and I'm waiting to bait and then I start my offense again, right? Delay DP is going to eat that. So delay DP is actually a good option. It really prevents your opponent from just running offense down your throat 24/7. While, early DP, yeah, I'm literally just gonna do this. Oops, sorry. Oh my gosh, why am I? There we go. And then I, run up, and then he DPs, and then he's dead, right? But with delay DP, I run up, and then I press, and then he DPs, right? That is a much better option. It's not the best option in the world. I still recommend you swing. Swinging is better than just DPing, but it's a good option to just like bait out your opponent, basically delaying their offense and trying to go ham on you. The other option, which is way better than all these, is run up DP. So if you haven't figured out by now, a lot of characters have this weird spot where when they jump back, like for example, Berserker, when he jumps back and does this, you don't really have many options against this. You can try to trip guard, but it's very, very hard to do. And when you run up, he's going to hit you, right? Well, the way you stop this is you run up DP. So I know it looks scrubby, but it's actually not a scrubby option. It's a very, very good option in this game. Because it's one button, it's very easy to do. And it stops people from just kind of run up, you'll see this a lot in the corner too. Like when people are like freaking out, they'll freak out in the corner. They'll do this in the corner. Like run up DP is a very good option against this. So being able to run up DP, I agree. Like that is definitely something you want to do. I know it looks scrubby, but it's a smart decision. And then finally, I guess like if your DP has like plus frames off of it, or you can use it to go into conversion, that is definitely a good option for your character. Being able to do run up DP and then cancel into conversion and then do a tick throw or something like that, or a guard break option is very, very good. Or a guard block option or whatever is a good option. So I would definitely say that that's something else you also want to do. So we went ahead and discussed the DPs and when you want to use the DPs. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here because my video went longer than I thought it would. But I recommend that these are definitely good times to use your DP options, and don't use them randomly in the neutral. Don't use them as soon as you're getting pressured. Delay DP is a good option. Doing a DP to run up. Make sure your DPs hit. You want your DPs to hit your opponent. Even if they're blocked, that's better than just doing them and they whiff. I see this all the time against striker players. I'll run up and like, they're not paying attention. They think I'm going to pressure them. This is why delay DP is important, right? Because if I'm striker against striker and I run up against striker and striker just DPs without seeing what I'm going to do, well, what's going to happen is her DP is going to whiff and I'm going to punish her for it. This is a very common thing I do against striker players all the time. I'll run up and I'll just run right before the DP, I'd get hit by the DP. They do the DP and then I get a free punish, right? So you definitely want to see when your opponent is finally pressuring you or when they're in the range to get DP to DP. It's always better to get your opponent to block the DP and punish you than to just get it to whiff entirely and get punished for that. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about today. I figured I would share this. This is definitely things I've noticed in DNF Duel that like you should never be whiffing your defensive options on wake up. I'll see you guys later. Have fun playing fighting games. Have fun playing DNF Duel and have a good fight.